Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chris Gagne along with Calvin Castine on the camera for Hometown Cable, and we're here in Champlain, New York at Northeastern Clinton Central School for tonight's Northern Soccer League Division I game between the visiting Peru Indians and the Northeastern Clinton Cougars. Kate Southwick with the ball here at midfield. Looking back for Rao, out of bounds by Taylor Haywood of the Peru Indians. Southwick battling for the ball in front of us, looking for Houghton on the near sideline. Houghton's surrounded by three Peru players. And ball out of bounds on the near sideline. We'll have an Indians throw in. This throw in by Ali Beatty. So this is the second regular season game for the Cougars. Nice ball played to the corner for the Indians. It's Taylor Haywood having the ball taken away from her by Rao. As I stated, second regular season game for both teams. Not sure what the result was for the Indians on Tuesday night, but the Cougars playing down in Beatmantown. And what many thought was Beatmantown the heavily favored team, and Northeastern did a great job, came out strong, and played throughout the whole game. There's a nice cross by McDonough, and Musso making the save inside the 6-yard box. And the Cougars putting on a nice show down at Beatmantown. Unfortunately lost that game 5-4, but I think it was a big confidence booster for the team going into the start of the season, knowing that they can play with Beatmantown and any other team in the league. So it'll be interesting the second time around at Northeastern what the outcome of that game will be. Marley Sample playing physical out there, looking to make a run up the field. That's a long ball played in once again to the 6-yard box, and Musso easily picking that one up. Nice punt out to midfield. Kate Southwick stepping up. It's Mackenzie Carpenter playing the ball. Lizzie Roberts grabbing it, using her speed to get to the corner. Breaking inside the 18, cuts it back. And unfortunately not able to get a shot. Had several Indians around her denying her a good shot at the top of the 18. Kate Southwick doing a nice job stepping up to grab that ball. Nice through ball to Roy right inside the 18, shot and in the left corner of the net past Musso. So an excellent pass from Southwick, and Royer making no mistakes on that one. Cougars going up 1-0 with approximately 3.5 minutes into the game. So we'll have a restart here after the Cougars' first goal. That was Royer with a nice low shot into the corner. Great job by Southwick stepping up to collect that ball and sewing it through the Indians' defense. I was told prior to the game today is Kate Southwick's birthday, so not a bad way to start off your first home game of the season on your birthday with an assist. Ball played in by the Indians, and Emmerich talking to her defense, calling them off, and comes out and makes her first save of the game. The ball's off of McDonough, and we'll have a Indians throw-in. So Lizzie Roberts looking for someone to pass that ball. Nice ball down the sidelines, and that is broken up by Teresa Emer. So the lineup for the visiting Indians: number 1, Emily Beatty; number 2, Kelly Sarbo; number 3, Taylor Haywood; number 4, Mackenzie Carpenter; 5, Mariette Lawless; number 6, Emma Rabidou; 7, Amy Darst; 8, Torrance Shipman; number 9, Mackenzie Marino; number 10, Hallie Leduc; 11, Teresa Emer. There's another cross. And back and forth action. We'll have a stop in action. And what do we have for a call here? So some good back and forth action there inside the 18. Two Cougars with an opportunity to score. And apparently it was an offsides call. So Houghton with a nice trap over to Lizzie Roberts. Dumas switching fields. Continuing with the lineup for the Indians: number 12, Devin Whitney; 13, Callista LeBombard; 14, Allison Post; 15, Krista Robert; 17, Caroline Denchik. Southwick looking over to the sideline and just out of reach to Royer, and that's out of bounds. 19, Sydney Mills, your goalkeeper, Dakota Musso; 22, Allie Beatty; 21, Trinity Carter; and the coach, Amy Chase and Scott Carpenter. So McComb once again playing back at the sweeper position, filling in for Olivia Gagno. And McComb doing a great job so far this season playing that position, and got a shout out in the paper the other day for her great effort back on the defensive end against the Beavertown Eagles. Allie Post playing a long ball up near sideline, and that's just a little far out of reach of Hallie Leduc and out of bounds. For the Cougars, the starting goalkeeper, Katarina Emmerich. A hard shot taken there, blocked by the defense. Another shot taken by Callista LeBombard, and Emmerich coming up with that save. Number 1, Kyle McComb; 2, Caitlin Southwick; 3, Maggie LaFountain; 4, Gabby Dumas; 5, Natalie Rowell; 7, Lizzie Roberts; 8, Hannah Gordon; 10, Arlie LaFountain; 12, Brinley LaFountain; 13, Marley Sample; 15, Brianna Guerin; 16, Riley Passano; 17, Aislinn McDonough; 18, Emily Royer; 19, Paige Letourneau; 20, Carissa Gay; 21, Caitlin Houghton; 22, Olivia Gagno; 24, Emily Boyer; and the backup goalkeeper, Abrielle Racine. Coaches for the Cougars: head coach, Mr. Tim Supernaw, and Mr. Tim Mata, and assistant and JV coach, McKenna Hunter. So Kelly Sarbo with a good effort for the Indians on the end line, and just a little too long for her, and the Cougars will take a goal kick. So McDonough playing it over to Sample. Southwick looking up the field, and no one in the area on that pass forward. Nice move by McDonough down the sideline. Her and Allie Post battling. So I have an Indians throwing on the far side. Cougars doing a good job so far in the game, putting offensive pressure on the Indians. Indians definitely packing it in on defense every time a Cougar touches the ball around the 18. There's 3 to 4 of them surrounding the ball and doing a good job of getting it out of the 18 area.
So was your biggest fan able to watch the Beekmantown game? Your sister Kelly? She likes to...
I do not know.
Well, if you haven't heard from her, it can't be she watched it yet.
No. Usually she calls and harasses me. As I've said before, she does the critique and tells me everything I do wrong, but doesn't tell me how to improve.
Well, maybe if she's ever up here for a game, she can come up in the booth and show you how it's done.
That would be a good idea. There's a nice ball played into the 18. Emmerich calling off her defense, steps out and makes a save. Quickly gets it out to McDonough. So good job by the Cougars trying to break out on offense. That's Lawless clearing that ball out and played back to Musso. Well, she just calls me to tell me what I'm doing wrong, and then I just call her to tell her that my insurance rates are too high. She tells me to deal with it.
Tell her you're going to start shopping around.
Yep. She tells me to go ahead, so I guess that means I'm not going to get anything better. That's LaFountain in the corner, number 10 for the Cougars, getting her first touch of the game. That's Southwick and Haywood battling on the sideline, and we'll have well, I thought he called a trip. Yep, he did call a trip, so we'll have a direct kick. Marley Sample stepping over to take this one. Cougars offense set up at the 18. Nice ball played in. That's headed by 21 Trinity Carter, and a nice shot by Dumas, and just high and wide. So good effort there by Dumas. Looking for the Cougars' second goal of the game. Cougars up 1-0 here with 26:50 left in the first half. And I didn't get all the substitutes, but I know, let's see, Brianna Guerin came in number 15. And number 12, Brinley LaFountain. And number 8, Hannah Gordon's into the game. Emily Beatty taking this goal kick. This is Allie Post Passing it over to Sarbo. Sarbo looking to Haywood on the near side. Carpenter playing a long ball up to Haywood and just beyond her reach and out of bounds. Well, McDonough looking to split the Indians' defense. McDonough pretty speedy when she gets on a straight run, but just not enough to get there on that one. McDonough crossing the ball into the 18, looking for Dumas. Marley Sample trying to collect that ball, takes a shot, and just across the mouth of the goal, and LaFountain couldn't get her foot on that, out of bounds, and the Indians will have a goal kick. So good opportunity there for the Cougars. They'll have substitutes. See Lizzie Roberts coming in. Guerin working the sideline, plays it back to McComb, and off the instep of her foot and out of bounds on the sidelines. So Hannah Gordon looking up to Harley LaFountain. So the Indians with an opportunity from the top of the 18, taking a slow roller to Emmerich on the far side of the net, and she easily makes that save. A beautiful night here at Northeastern. I'd say it was about 65 at game time, Calvin?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It was 66 when I arrived here, but it was very humid. But
No rain, slight breeze,
it's not going to rain either.
no bugs,
You know why I know it's not going to
because
rain?
we're inside.
No.
Why is
Because
that?
Gib Brown doesn't have an umbrella with him. He's right over there on the other side there with Marilyn McClure, who's here from the medical center.
Nice.
And Gibbs here with no umbrella. So if Gib Brown feels confident enough to come out here with no umbrella, then I know it's not going to rain.
Well, I think we got enough rain earlier today. I wasn't in the area working. I was way south of here, and we got rain there, and then I heard we got torrential rain up here, thunder and lightning, and I spoke to somebody in Messina, said there was hail on the ground, so I went to the right spot today. Avoided all the storms. But we have to consider ourselves lucky with that little bit of rain. We'd take that any day over what's gone on in Texas with Hurricane Harvey. It's just sad to see the suffering and loss of life and property that's happening down there.
And now we're waiting to see what Irma's going to do.
Yeah.
And then out west, so many fires from the dryness.
And right now, Harvey, when it was There's a nice cross by the Cougars into the 18. Arlie LaFountain trying to collect that just off of her foot. Cougars putting some good pressure on. Roberts safely playing it back to her sweeper, Kaya McComb. So Cougars doing a good job of working the ball around, using their defense for a little relief. And Musso out to make that save. And Hurricane Irma was the biggest and strongest ever recorded hurricane in history in the Atlantic, correct? I believe it, ever in history.
I believe so.
And I was looking at pictures today of some of the islands that it hit, and it just completely wiped everything off of the island. There's nothing left but dirt, and it's scary to think that it's headed towards the southern tip of Miami, whether it's Key West or Miami or wherever it is. It's sad. Houghton with some nice footwork inside the 18, getting pushed off the ball. Ball cleared by the Indians defense, and Guerin playing a high ball back into the 18. Sample collecting it, tries to take a shot, and that's a little wide. Musso out to the corner of the 6 and makes a slide and save. And then for us in the North Country, you pray that it doesn't track up the East Coast and end up here like Irene, because that was devastating. And I still remember working during Hurricane Irene, and it was unbelievable the devastation, and that's not even close to what we're seeing in Texas and what's to come in Florida.
Yeah, one of the saddest things I saw out of Irene was when I went to Upper J and saw that all the remnants of the land of make-believe that Arto Monaco had worked so hard for. He was gone by then, but still there were some buildings that they were hoping to restore and put in some historical context, but Irene just washed everything away.
And it was tough. I was down there working, and sometimes you just don't know what to say to people. You see somebody sitting in front of their home that's got water 6 feet up the front door, and what do you say to them?
Yeah.
They look at you and they say, it's all gone. What do I do? No flood insurance, and So McDonough closing in on this loose ball, using her speed. And that's nicely broken out by Lawless in that corner and clears it out. So how would you compare Irene to the floods back shortly after the ice storm? That was in 98?
Ice storm was 98. The flood of 96 was a big one.
Yes.
That was in November of 96. Well, for us in the northern tier, 96 was worse. We didn't get the problems that they did in Essex County and down there. So certainly 2011 with Irene was as bad in Upper J as it was here in 96 for us. So it's just a matter of where you were. And even in 2010, they had a big flash flood in the Ranchside campground in that area there. They had a small area where they got 5 or 6 inches of rain, and I remember a couple women almost lost their lives.
That Ranchside incident, I was actually up there that morning. I started at 5 o'clock that morning, and I got up at whatever time getting ready to leave, and I heard some commotion on the radio, and I ended up going up there, and it was just unbelievable what was taking place. And I ended up down at Blue Haven, I remember going across the bridge, and there's literally decks and propane tanks and parts of campers floating down the river past me.
Yeah.
It was surreal.
Sam Trombley.
So a nice ball played in to Taylor Haywood at the 18. Haywood in, takes a shot, and a nice save by Emmerich. Emmerich coming out making a sliding save there. So good heads-up effort by Emmerich. Nice job by the Indians. Their first real good scoring opportunity.
Sam Trombley always, whenever there was something like that going on, always let us in with the cameras. I went up to Blue Haven, and they wouldn't let me step foot on the property because they didn't want anybody to know how bad it was. at their site, so they wouldn't even let me set foot on the property.
That's Taylor Haywood again with the ball. She's looking into the 18. Allie Post collecting it and broken up by Royer. We'll have a hold on the Indians, and we'll have a set play here for the Cougars. Olivia Gagno stepping in, making her first official appearance since her season-ending knee injury last year. So we'll have to see how her knee holds up, and hopefully it works out. So the Cougars with their first corner kick of this game. 14 minutes, 45 seconds left. It appears McDonough will be taking this one. Emily Boyer coming out of the game, and that is Carissa Gay coming in. A nice corner just outside the 6 over the head of Lizzie Roberts. Gay getting her first touch. Good hustle there by Gay, and we'll have an Indians throw in. Royer playing it back to Roberts, just off the top of the foot of Roberts. And Southwick trying to seam that through the defense, and that's broken up by the Indians. And Mr. Lambert on the far side calling a foul on the Indians. I think I failed to mention the referees. We have Mr. Kaiser and Mr. Lambert tonight officiating this game.
One final thing in that 2010, one of the campers, Richard Cleach, had grabbed the camera and he got that rescue and everything that went on there. And I was able to share it on my website, and Travel Channel and the Weather Channel both used some of his footage and some of the stories they did on floods and stuff.
And they were very lucky they were able to save them, because once they went over that dam, I mean, with the rapids and the whitewater after that, it wouldn't have been a good outcome.
No.
So.
Yeah.
Hallie LeDuc taking that kick. A nice ball played right to the top of the 18. Combe battling, trying to clear that out. Played back in, and Emmerich out to make that save. She had Sydney Mills closing in on her. So the Indians late here in the first half putting some pressure on. Cougars trying to transition. Royer taking a shot from the 18. That's blocked by the Indians, and Cougars will have their second corner kick.
Looking at those clouds to our south, I'm glad that Gibb knows what's going on, because I'd be nervous if it weren't for Gibb over there.
Those are fluffy clouds. There's no rain in them.
Right.
It's just for looks. So another corner right across the box, and Gay taking a point-blank shot from about 7 yards out and just over the top of the crossbar.
You were a good soccer player. Did you ever kick one over the top when you were that close?
I think I may have done it right from the goal line. I finally learned it's not about how hard you kick it, it's about where you put it. And yeah, we all have those moments.
The adrenaline's flowing.
Yep, those moments where you just wish you could have that moment back.
The ball is bouncing. You know,
Yep.
it's not like it's a stationary object and not teed up for you.
Yep. Nice throw in to Dumas. Dumas cutting it back and touched just a little too much there and out of bounds.
But it's very easy from up here, though.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's like a penalty kick. You always remember people missing when they drill it as hard as they can and it goes over the top or wide, and then you see these guys that just step up, take one step, and it just nicely rolls into a corner. And you know, it's not as dramatic, but it gets the job done. So
That keeper has a choice which way he's going to break.
yep. So we'll have Rao back in, Passano, Arlie LaFountain, and Marley Sample. There's a nice head ball played up to McDonough. McDonough down the right side of the field. Cuts it back. Nice cross into the 6-yard box, and no Cougar there to get a shot. Lucy Roberts doing a nice job collecting that goal kick down the end line, and that's broken up again by the Indians, and Cougars will have a corner kick. Doom is taking this corner kick. Nice lofting ball into the 6-yard box. It's Sidney Mills and Gay battling in the corner. Houghton into LaFountain. LaFountain takes a beautiful shot and just wide of the post. So excellent shot there by Arlo LaFountain. I thought that was headed for the far corner of the net, but just not enough curve on it to get it in there. So good job by Arlo LaFountain. Indians making substitutions. We have Mariette Lawlison, or correct me on that, that was Emma Rabidou that came in. Good hustle there by McDonough, getting past the defender, looking back to Roberts, and post intercepting that pass from McDonough. So Roberts double teamed in the corner. She goes down, and we'll have a goal kick for the Indians. This is Trinity Carter coming into the game for the Indians. Houghton playing a nice ball up to Marley Sample. Sample at the 18. She is surrounded by 3 Indians and plays it over to McDonough. Valley Post doing a good job defensively tonight. Remember mentioning her name quite a bit last year when these two teams played. The Cougars losing in the sectional semifinals down at Shazy last year to the Peru Indians. Passano taking a long shot, broken up at the 18. Lizzie Roberts taking another shot with our little fountain closing in, and Musso making that save. So just under 5 minutes left here in the first half. We're at Northeastern Clinton Central School in Champlain. The Lady Cougars leading the Lady Indians 1-0. Cougars goal scored by Emily Royer and assisted by Caitlin Southwick. Well, Brinley LaFountain and Caitlin Southwick coming back into the game for the Cougars. Those girls are playing even after the ball goes out of bounds, Calvin. Good hustle there. It's Trinity Carter looking up for Taylor Haywood, and that goes off of her leg. And the Cougars quickly throwing it in. Nice pass there up to LaFountain. So the Cougars doing a nice job getting the ball up the field, but this Indians defense just attacking the ball. Anytime a white shirt touches that ball, there's 3 to 4 defenders on them, so they're doing a good job playing defense. Nice long cross into the 18, and Emmerich doing a great job coming out to make that save. Carpenter doing a nice job collecting that ball. She was looking for Kelly Sarbo. And referee Mr. Lambert says that ball went out of bounds, so we'll have a Cougars throw in. Marley Sample doing a nice job shielding the player and collecting that ball. Tries to slide it past Lawless. Lawless doing a good job of pushing her to the outside. Sample along the end line, and that's out to the 18. LaFountain just couldn't get a foot on that one, so good opportunity there for LaFountain. And fortunately for the Indians, she wasn't able to get a point-blank shot off. Mistake there by the Indians defense, but Northeastern unable to capitalize on that, and they're down to less than a minute to try to pick up their second goal here in the first half. Sample looking to take a shot, just a little off balance there. McDonough coming out, and loose ball played in and just to the back of the net, and it appears that the collision with McDonough and Musso's down and not getting up, so we'll have to wait here and see and hope that she's okay and can get back in the game.
What? You started the clock?
Okay, we're apparently back in action here. We just had
The refs.
collision between Aisla McDonough and goalkeeper Dakota Musso. Musso not getting up right away, so she was taken out of the game. We wish her the best. Hope she's okay, and that should run out the first half here with the Northeastern Cougars leading the Peru Indians 1-0 in Northern Soccer League Division I action. So we're back here, start of the second half. This game between the Indians and the Cougars. Cougars up 1-0, and just 15 seconds prior to the end of the first half, Dakota Musso, the starting goalie for the Indians, getting injured. She still hasn't come back in the game, and not sure
There's a backup goalie on the sheet.
who the new goalie is.
Right next to Musso. One right next to Musso. I drew the line.
Oh, Sydney Mills. So that's the backup goalkeeper. We assume that's her in there. So
Sounds like the Peru fans are calling her Sydney.
it's the only Sydney on the team, so we'll go with that.
Lights blinking.
Is that the lights or lightning?
I don't know. I don't think it's lightning. 'Cause
Yeah, it looked like the clouds had moved past us,
Yeah.
a little to the south and heading east.
the lights are blinking or what.
Well, if lightning strikes again, I'm going to stop hanging out with you because I think you're bad luck.
It's been a couple of years.
Passano turning that ball outside. Looking up for McDonough. Alley Post keeps that ball in play. Looking up to Hallie Leduc. Leduc and Royer battling very hard right there. Good effort by both players, and we'll have Cougar throw in. So ball thrown down the near sideline. Royer fighting for that ball. McDonough getting pushed off of that ball. Getting a little physical here at the start of the second half. That's Hallie Leduc getting called for the push, and Mr. Lambert will give a free kick. Marley Sample taking this one right into the 6-yard box. And Sydney Mills making the save. That was a nice punt by Mills, just over half field. Long ball played up over the foot of Al. And McComb doing a nice job of backing her up, getting over to play that mistake. Carpenter playing it into the 18. Roy looking to break away from the Indians' defense. She's got 3 defenders on her. Pulling it back to the right. Nice job looking outside to McDonough. And that's taken away from McDonough and played out of bounds. That's Royer taking a shot. That'll be wide near side. Calvin getting a shot of those nice clouds just going to the south of us here at Northeastern, heading in an easterly direction. We'll have a hold called on White, so we'll have a free kick here for the Indians. That's Hallie LeDuc running down the field, and a nice job by McComb to break that one up. Hallie post gathering that, looking to transition to the middle. Good defensive play there by Teresa Emer. Roberts with a nice through ball. Marley Sample closing in. Got McDonough on the other side. And Sample playing that over the end line.
Train going through Coopersville.
Sample looking for Royer at the 18. McDonough just a little short of getting that one, and Post doing a good job once again to break up that scoring opportunity for the Cougars.
So listening to that train going through Coopersville, that's 4 or 5 miles away. Up until about 1962, the train Rutland went right behind those trees right here and went from Rouse's Point to Champlain through here. So you can imagine how loud it would have been coming through here.
And now that's our, what are they calling it, community trail or?
I don't know. They're doing calling a lot of names to justify it. Community path. I don't know.
Nice shot by McDonough. Goes across the 6-yard box, and Houghton a little late getting to that one. Houghton cuts it back to the end line. Crosses it back. And referee Lambert stating it went over the line, and we'll have a goal kick. So this path is supposed to run from Rouse's Point to the Champlain Elementary School?
I guess so.
Ooh, Marley Sample point blank shot off the fingertips of the goalkeeper and out of bounds. So Marley Sample, good job heads up collecting that ball from the Indians. Taking a nice shot, just a little bit over. So our team will have their first corner kick here in the second half. We'll have Dumas on the far side taking this one. That ball played out of bounds, and we'll have an Indians goal kick. And you see they've been putting a lot of crushed stone down, but I don't think aren't they supposed to pave it?
Eventually, yeah.
And do they have are the funds secured for that?
As far as I know.
Yeah.
I know there's been cost overruns, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan, so I haven't followed it too close.
So we have an offsides call here against the Cougars. So the Indians looking to transition our offense. Nice long ball played up. That was for Taylor Haywood, and McComb doing a nice job of breaking that one up. So the Indians haven't really put a whole lot of pressure on the Cougars here in the second half. Cougars with a few scoring opportunities, some nice shots. Just unable to find the back of the net at this point. Cougars still holding a 1-0 lead here with about 30 minutes left in the second half. Dumas making a run up the field looking for that throw-in. Houghton collects it, looking to the middle for Royer. Royer got 2 Cougars ahead of her. Royer cutting it back, takes a shot, and nice save. Right off the fingertips of the goalkeeper, Sidney Mills. So nice diving effort there. And once again, a good scoring opportunity for the Cougars. Roberts out at the point. She's got 3 Indians on her. She loses it. That'll be Teresa Emer looking up the field. We'll have a foul here called on Royer. That'll be a push right at midfield. Allie Post going down on that play. She'll be taking the direct kick. That ball played clear across the 18, but no Indian there to gather that ball. We have Abby Racine in net for the Cougars here in the second half. She's been sharing time with Emmerich. Racine getting some playing time against Beatmantown. Did a nice job in the Beatmantown game on Tuesday night. So we'll have substitutes here for the Cougars. We have Arlie LaFountain and Brinley LaFountain, and that was lightning, Calvin.
Yep.
Definitely lightning, and I don't think anybody saw it. They just think it's the lights flickering.
They're called to the southeast.
That ball played into Arlie LaFountain. We got Marley Sample closing in. Indian successfully clearing that ball out of the 18. Taylor Haywood looking to get a break up the field, and she just plays that a little far and out of bounds. Lightning. So the referees, must be somebody told them there was lightning, and now they're going to put a stoppage to the game. And Calvin, do you remember how long we have to wait? Is it 20 minutes?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. So I imagine they'll move the players inside.
Supposed to.
and
Clear the field.
clear the field, and hopefully in 30 minutes we'll be back. All right, welcome back. We're back on air here between the Cougars and the Indians. We had an approximate 47-minute delay due to 2 bolts of lightning in the area, so the referee's stopping the game, clearing the field. All the athletes went into the school. So it's approximately 8:34 now. Be around 9 o'clock when we're done, and we'll have to see if this delay affects either one of the teams. They're warming up for about 3 minutes prior to starting, so. That'll be McDonough closing in on the keeper, and Sidney Mills out to make that save. So good heads up by Mills. Alley post touching that one out of bounds. Gabby Dumas taking this throw in. Mr. Lambert telling her she's taking just a little too much. Backs her up. Roberts over to Houghton. Houghton looking for Sample in the middle. She just got turned around the wrong way. That's Post playing it back to Carpenter. Carpenter looking up the sideline in front of the Cougar bench. That'll be out of bounds for a throw-in. Good hustle there by Houghton. She was sandwiched by two blue players. Almost couldn't see her in the middle. So Roberts with some nice footwork on the outside, takes a long shot, and that's going to be far wide and over the end line. So good effort there by Liz Roberts. And it appears as though the Cougars have changed their lineup a little bit. Their positioning looks like they're running 3 players up the line. Dumas breaking that one up and pushed inside of the 18, and woo! Mr. Lambert's going to move that outside, and I'd have to say he's got the right call as far as the push, but not so sure about the location. So the Cougars will have a direct kick from the corner of the 18. Roberts coming across the field to take this one. Indians with 3 people on the wall here on the near side, and shot up and over the top of the net. So it appears though the Cougars have changed to 3 people up in the front line, taking one of their halfbacks, moving it up, and hopefully that will open up the Indians' defense and create some room for the people up on the line and create some good scoring opportunities for the Cougars. Southwood collecting that ball in the middle, looking to switch fields, and McDonough breaking in on the backside defense, takes a shot wide and just over the foot of Houghton. Houghton will track that one down. And I guarantee Houghton would like to have that one back. She was about a millisecond shy of putting that one in the back of the net.
Perfect serve.
So the Indians breaking across midfield. Nice ball played up to the left side. That's Darst. And the Cougar defense doing a good job of recovering on that one and preventing an odd man rush for the Indians. This is Emily Beatty looking to take a shot. Takes another shot, and that goes off the outside of her foot to the corner. We have a couple players getting hooked up, tangled up there, and Mr. Lambert calls a push and gives a direct kick to the Cougars. That ball getting by Passano. McComb shifting over to cover her on that play. And hooked up again. Now we're going to have a call against Gabby Dumas for a hold. So girls playing hard out there, getting a little physical. That's Southwick looking to break out. Push the offense forward. Marley Sample stepping to the left of Lawless. Carries it outside, looking back to the 18, and that's cleared by the defense of the Indians.
Clock's off.
It's Royer playing it back to Passano. Passano looking up the field for an open player. Southwick breaking into the 18, steps across looking to get a shot, and broken up again by the Indians defense. There's a nice long shot by Dumas and right into the hands of Sydney Mills. So the referee just noticing the clock's out. And I would assume the ref on the other side is keeping the time on his watch. There was approximately what left? 20 minutes, Calvin? We could be here till midnight.
Yeah, about 20. Play the whistle.
There's a nice ball played to Houghton on the outside. Houghton taking a shot and Mills picking up a bouncing shot. The Indian fans getting upset with the referee. All the girls stopped, thought it was a handball, and fans are yelling handball, and the ref never blew the whistle.
Play the whistle.
Yep, that's true. Got to play the whistle. We'll have a push on the far side. Roberts to take this direct kick. Nice ball played up to the 18, looking for Dumas, and dropped by the goalkeeper, and she collects it, and a nice save there. She had two Cougar players closing in on her. So Mills with another long punt. She's punting that ball nearly to midfield every time. So I assume that was a play on, but decided she didn't get it, so now it's a kick.
Keep control. So.
Not unsure about that, but so Houghton taking that ball away, moving down the left side. You have Sample working the middle, McDonough on the far side. Houghton looking into Sample. Sample turning, taking a shot, weak shot, and right across the goal mouth. McDonough stepping over the top of that one. So McDonough not expecting the ball to cross through the 6-yard box and unable to get a foot on that. So Mills will take this punt. While we're doing battery change, Cougars had 2 shots on net. No real scoring threat, but another 2 shots, and the Cougars pressing, trying to get a good scoring opportunity here, but the Indians are playing some very strong defense here in the second half, especially since the half-hour delay that they've come out and playing real physical and looking to get this equalizer. That ball played over the head of the Indians defense. McDonough turning it into the 18, crosses the ball, and that's deflected out of bounds. So despite the Indians playing strong defense here, they really haven't had any scoring opportunities since our lightning delay. And they're going to have to come up with something here or make some changes if they're looking to tie this game. McDonough with a nice corner kick. That's cleared out by the Indians.
So very often, though, Chris, you see a team dominate and the other team gets a breakaway, and all of a sudden a goal.
We'll have a good opportunity here for the Cougars. Roberts will come over and take this direct kick on a handball by the Indians. Roberts plays it across the goal mouth and just past Houghton again. So Houghton with 2 good opportunities from that far side. Just hasn't been able to get the foot or the body on that ball to put it in the back of the net. And I thought that was a lucky break you were maybe talking about, Calvin. Post almost had herself a breakaway right there off of the deflection. So the Indians looking to make their first real push up the field. That's Royer turning the ball around, playing it back to Passano. Southwick stepping up, taking this ball outside, looking to break down the field. She's got Marley Sample to her left and dribbles it just a little too far. And Lawless breaking that one up. Ooh, and it looks like Dumas took that one right off the face. Roberts double team in the middle, dribbles around, gives it up to Sample. Sample splits the defense, moves in 6, takes a shot, and in the back of the net. So excellent job there by Lizzie Roberts to split the defense, get it up to Marley Sample, and Sample doing everything right there, putting that in the back of the net and giving the Cougars a 2-0 lead. So the Cougars go up 2-0 against Peru Indians. We just had a goal scored by Marley Sample, assisted by Lizzie Roberts. Really nice play. Congratulations to both of them. And according to our referees, there's 11 minutes and 28 seconds left here in the second half. Houghton crossing that ball, looking for McDonough. And Mills making another save. That ball is broken up and taken away by McDonough. Nice defensive play by Emer. We'll have substitutes for the Indians. They'll be sending in 2 new players. And that appears to be Arlie LaFountain coming into the game for the Cougars. So Devin Whitney throwing this ball in. Southwick playing a nice through ball up. And just a little too far. She was looking for Arlie LaFountain there. Sample cutting it back nicely. Sample 3 players on her. She deflects it. And Lambert calls a handball on Sample.
9 minutes to go. Go, 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 go!
So McDonough looking across at Sample into the net. And Arlie LaFountain popping that one in to the upper end of the net. So nice cross there by McDonough, and LaFountain sending that one into the back of the net for the 3rd goal of the game for the Cougars as they're up 3-0. So after that goal by Arlie LaFountain, we have Maggie LaFountain into the game, number 3. Rowell playing that ball up to midfield. Because handball.
I don't know what it was.
No advantage. Cause that ball played up to Southwick, cuts around one defender, looking for Maggie LaFountain, and broken up by the Indians' defense again. That ball getting a little away from Rowell, but she safely plays it back to McComb. She has 2 Indians closing in on her, and the Cougars are able to move it up the field. So Arlie LaFountain playing a ball up to Maggie LaFountain. She tries to cut it back and taken away by the Indians. So LaFountain working hard here in the corner, looking for somebody to pass to.
Looks like somebody's coming in for a landing, Chris.
I think that was a really loud tractor trailer.
I think so.
Southwick hustling to get back in that play after the ball was taken from her. Good effort there. Once again, the ball played up to Maggie LaFountain. Fountain playing a ball right through the legs up to Arlie LaFountain taking a shot, and right between the legs of the goalkeeper in the back of the net. So we have an assist from LaFountain and a goal by LaFountain. That'll make it 4-0. So that ball safely cleared out by the Indians. Again, with the Fountain working hard, she got pulled down there, no call. And Maggie LaFountain splitting defense, moving into the 18. Trying to hold off the defender. She's pushed off, crosses it to the center, and picked up by Mills. Southwick. Correction on that. Southwick trying to pick a goal up to go with that assist. It's all the bugs, Calvin, on this plexiglass. I can't see through it with the light shining in my eyes.
Good excuse.
3 looks like a 2. Kate Southwick playing over to Arlie LaFountain. LaFountain taking it up the left side, cuts it back. Takes a shot, and Mills making that save right at the corner of the post. Would you say we're down to about 2 minutes?
I would guess in that area. With all the stoppages, it's hard to keep track.
Fountain crossing it in, and Gordon looking to take a shot, kick saved by the goalkeeper, and that's Maggie LaFountain getting a goal, making it 5-0. So good effort there by the Cougars, picking up their 5th goal of the game.
I think the Cougars are going to want to have a lightning delay every game.
We'll have to see if we can figure out what Coach said to them during the delay to get them motivated. They're up 1-0 going into the delay, and they've scored 4 goals since. So whatever it was, it worked. The Indians taking their first shot here since the break, and that's Abby Racine out to make a save. Steps out the 18, looking to punt it to midfield. That's Brianna Guerin into the game playing right side defense. That's Carter and Southwick going at it in the middle of the field. And we'll have a foul called on Southwick.
Can't be much time
So
left.
Emily Beatty taking this kick, lays it into the 18, and Racine grabbing that one to the left side of the net. So across there by Gordon, looking for Southwick. Guerin playing a long ball up, splits the Indians defense. Fount looking to pick up another goal here. She's working hard at the top of the 18. Southwick looking in for Arleta Fountain. Arleta Fountain spins it around the defense, and that's broken up, and ball will be played over the sideline, and the Cougars will have a throw in. Nice cross there by Southwick, and that's picked up by Mills once again. And that concludes our game here. As the referee counts down the last few seconds, and the Cougars picking up a victory this evening over the Peru Indians. And on behalf of Hometown Cable, I'm Chris Gagne along with Calvin Castine. We thank you for joining us tonight. And as always, we appreciate all your donations and your continued support so that Calvin can make this happen.
Thank you, Chris.